Hello everyone, I'm Namrata Arora, and today for you we've got the top 5 mid-cap funds that you can invest in. So when we look at any economic cycle and we look at say small cap stocks, they tend to do exceedingly well in bullish markets. If we look at large cap stocks, they tend to provide us risk protection on the downward side. So come to look at it, a balanced approach would be something which tends to balance out our portfolio and at the same time optimize our returns. And when you're in between, you tend to balance out your risk as well. So mid-cap stocks do exactly that. So mid-cap stocks are stocks which, they don't necessarily underperform as much as small caps during bearish markets, but they tend to give us good returns during bullish markets. Even from a long-term capital appreciation point of view, mid-cap stocks tend to do exceedingly well. The table that you see on the screen helps you understand the performance of large cap, mid-cap, small cap and multi-cap indices of BSE. As you can see in terms of volatility out of the large, mid, small and the combination of all the three, mid-cap has hardly been at the bottom of the table. So if you look at from year 2011 till 2020, which is in these 10 years, mid-cap index has been in the top 6 out of these 10 years. So what exactly are mid-cap stocks? So as per SEBI classification, mid-cap stocks are ranked from 101 to 250 as per their market capitalization. Now the challenge for any investor is to pick the right stocks out of those 150 stocks. And it's obviously not that easy. And that is why the mid-cap funds come into picture. So mid-cap funds basically invest in mid-cap stocks and make the life of an investor very easy. The only challenge here is to find the right fund for yourself. So now let's look at the top 5 mid-cap funds based on their last 5 years performance. The performance that you see is from May 2017 till May 2022. So the top 5 funds in this category based on the 5-year performance are Quant Mid-Cap Fund, Axis Mid-Cap Fund, PGIM India Mid-Cap Opportunities Fund, Edelweiss Mid-Cap Fund and Kotak Emerging Equity. Now let's deep dive into these 5 funds and understand their background. Also, the returns that you see are as of May 2022 and all the other numbers are as of 31st of March 2022. So let's look at the top fund in this category, which is Quant Mid-Cap Fund. Even though Quant Mid-Cap Fund is an extremely old fund, but Quant AMC took over Escorts Mutual Fund recently, and since then there's been no looking back for all the funds under Quant Mutual Fund. This fund, which is Quant Mid-Cap Fund, has been one of the best performing funds since 2020. Quant Mutual Fund is known to take concentrated bets and have higher turnover ratio compared to its peer group. Even if you look at the current market crash and you look at the performance of the fund in the last 6 months or even year to date for that matter, this fund has corrected the least amongst its peer group. If you look at the numbers, the 1-year return of this fund is 15.97%. 5-year return is 19.16%. The fund size or the AUM is 360 crores. The expense ratio under the direct option is 0.57%. And the inception date of this fund is 9th March 2001. The next fund in this category is Axis Mid-Cap Fund. Axis Mid-Cap Fund is the 3rd largest fund in the mid-cap space in terms of size. Now, Axis Mid-Cap Fund, if you look at any large size funds, it is difficult to handle them, especially in the mid-cap space. But this fund has overcome the challenge and it has given good performance. Also, in terms of the risk ratio, this fund has the least risk ratio compared to its peer group, which means it has a good risk-reward ratio. So now, if you look at some of the numbers, the 1-year performance of this fund is 9.27%. 5-year returns is 17.1%. The fund size or AUM is 17,645 crores. The expense ratio under the direct option is 0.46% and the inception date is 18th Feb 2011. Now let's look at PGIM India Mid-Cap Opportunities Fund. So PGIM is one of the top 10 asset managers in the world. If you look at this particular fund, it has not only been an outperformer in the last 5 years, but also in the last 1 year. Even though the risk of this fund is quite high, this fund has one of the highest risk-reward ratios in the mid-cap space. So if you look at the numbers, the 1-year return is 17.02%, 5-year returns is 16.99%. The fund size or the AUM is 4,887 crores. The expense ratio under direct plan is 0.46%, and the inception date of this fund is 2nd December 2013. The fourth fund is Edelweiss Mid Cap Fund. So Edelweiss AMC has managed to put both its large cap and the mid cap fund in the top 5 category based on the last 5-year performance. This fund has been in the top 2 quartile rank all through the market correction period. If you look at the numbers, the 1-year return of this fund is 12.41%. The 5-year return has been 14.13%. The fund size or the AUM is 1,920 crores. The expense ratio under the direct option is 0.46%, and the inception date of this fund is 26 December 2007. The fifth fund amongst the top 5 mid-cap funds is Kotak Emerging Equity Fund. So this is the second largest fund in terms of AUM in the mid-cap space, and this fund has been a consistent performer and has been in the top 5 list in 3-year, 5-year, 7-year and in the 10-year period as well. So if you look at the numbers, the 1-year return of Kotak Emerging Equity Fund is 14.15%. 5-year return is 14.02%. The fund size or the AUM is 18,635 crores. The expense ratio under the direct option is 0.47%, and the inception date is 30th March 2007. So I hope you liked this video where we try to explain the top 5 mid-cap funds to you. So if you of course like the video, hit the like button, share it with everyone, and of course subscribe to the Groww Mutual Fund channel. And please don't take any of these funds as our advice or as a recommendation. Thank you so much for watching.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing. Please read the risk disclosure documents carefully before investing in equity shares, derivatives, mutual fund, and or other instruments traded on the stock exchanges.